Today I'm showing you the best way to build a Sorcerer to get the most amount of DPS. And I want to give a shout out to the Pick Wizard guy who did point out how beast the Hydra is. I initially recommended keeping the Hydra early on and then potentially swapping it out later, but now I 100%, after fully testing it maxed out and knowing there's a possibility to get 2 Hydras at once, think the best build is a hybrid build. The electric has ground or chain lightning, and the ultimate is just crazy. But the Hydra is also so beast, and the best shield in the game is definitely the freeze shield. So you don't want to actually go all one way. The best DPS you can possibly get is a hybrid build. So let's get into some of the best skills. Now, the core skill is definitely the Arc Lash. The Arc Lash does deal massive damage up close. It works with the ultimate, allowing you to really get your ultimate off. And the ultimate for electric is just crazy. It is a multiple elite, basically clear almost or everything that's on your board currently. And depending on your difficulty level and how many players are on the game, basically instant kill bosses or deal massive damage to that boss. So we gotta get the electric ultimate. And this attack right here allows us to really utilize it. Plus, it's a very good core. So at the start of the game, we're going to take 5 points in it. But eventually, once we get more points past like the first 27, we get into like the 30s available for skill points, we will add Enhanced Arc Lash and we will add Glinting Arc Lash. So moving on, we are going to take 5 copies of Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning also deals massive damage. The nice thing about it, unlike Incinerate, is you don't have to stand still. Incinerate isn't bad, and the Pyro build, if you go all Pyro, does have a little bit more life sustainability, but as a sorcerer, you're always in the background. You're most likely going for the 2 of 8 on your gear anyway. You're going for life, a little life on kill, so you should be fine. You got the ice armor that you can use. We don't need that much sustainability as a sorcerer because you're not going toe to toe. You're just casting spells. And you can cast this Chain Lightning from anywhere and it just bounces around and deals massive damage. So, Chain Lightning, we're putting to 5. And we're going to take Enhanced Chain Lightning because we are getting Enhanced Critical. And there's ways in the game, in this build, to enhance that critical even more. So we don't even really need to put critical chance in our gear per se to get a decent chance of landing criticals. Now, the cracked lightning crackling energy, that's what it is not that great. Sadly, it goes off most times on the little mobs that rush you that you don't even need to put extra damage on. What really makes a difference in killing the elites and bosses faster is when you got that 1v1 powerful enemy and you aim your Chain Lightning at that enemy, then it hits that enemy and it bounces off you, and then it hits that enemy and it bounces off you again. Plus, when you use your ultimate, you get this bonus occasionally as well. So, we are going with the greater Chain Lightning over here early. Now, late game, obviously you'll be putting in the little ones as well, but that is really late for that one. Next, we're going to be taking 1 level of ice armor. Eventually, late game, you will max that out. And then you'll take ice armor. Your mana regeneration is increased 25%. Honestly, you could take this one somewhere around like level 30 to 35. And then you want ice armor that hits you, has a 15% chance of freezing the enemy. Because a lot of times you're using ice armor. Ice armor is to go get the person that just died, or it's when you just ran out of magic, you use this and you smack a big dude a few times, or you clear out a little mob, whatever, and take no damage, regen mana a little bit faster. And when you are fighting that 1v1 elite or boss, then make sure to do damage so you don't lose your barrier, but also you get a chance to freeze that enemy. Next, we're going to be taking 3 copies of Glass Cannon because we deal more damage, 18%, and we only take 9% more damage. Now, as a sorcerer, you should be in the back. This should be not a problem. This is just more damage for you. So, yes, we're definitely taking that. And there's a perk for elites too, where you take less damage every second you're safe. So you should always be taking less damage on the elites. Now, I'm going to be taking like a couple levels. I think I took 1 or 2 on the Hydra to start. And then I did while healthy. And then I did Hydra also burns enemies. So, because we're taking Hydra also burn enemies, every time we use our Chain Lightning and our ultimate, we get all those benefits from the mana regeneration that's down here later. And we can also regenerate our mana crazy fast and get off more Chain Lightnings. So we're always basically going to have a Hydra on the board, because the Hydra costs almost nothing to throw out. And eventually, once we get it, we're going to be able to throw 2 Hydras out at once. So what you want to do in basically all your battles is just first throw out the Hydra and then go to your ground lightning and your lightning spear, and if really needed, the ultimate. So that's basically the play that you're going to be using in all your battles. Now this point right here is from my gear. Next we're going to be taking 5 copies of lightning spear, especially because when we use our ultimate, this is going to spam like crazy. And also it does okay damage when we call it out. So, you just cast this and forget it. You cast it when you got the larger mobs or you got an elite, just to throw some extra damage out there quick. And we're going to be taking the enhanced critical. So that stacks because we got a couple of ways to raise the critical. And for our last one, we want the stun. Because collecting crackling energy, sadly, it's really nice. And you could go for it if you want. But we're not taking the crackling energy on the other. There's another way to get crackling energy, but it's a low chance. And we do have a way of getting criticals. So, occasionally we're going to get criticals. Occasionally we're going to stun enemies for 2.12 seconds. So, that occasional stun does help out. But next you're going to be taking the ultimate of Unstable Currents. This is what is going to wipe boards, kill bosses, and you want Unstoppable Currents, increase your active speed while active. Eventually, like level 60 or something, you could take that after you get the other one, but we're not really going with Crackling Energy, so that doesn't really make a difference. There is this over here, killing a burning enemy. We definitely want to get that somewhere around like high 20s, 30, because we're always going to have a Hydra on board. As far as gear is concerned, we want the most powerful staff. There might be another weapon, but we're looking damage per second for the core skill where we can still cast the Hydra. So we want to be able to cast the Hydra, we want to be able to cast the Chain Lightning, we want to be able to use our melee. And as long as we can do all that, then we want the most amount of damage per second. As far as your bonuses, if you can get 3+ mana consumption reductions, oh, you're so golden with how many times you can cast the Chain Lightning. You'll be sitting just wiping out boards. Between the Hydras and the Chain Lightning just bouncing around all the enemies, just section after section is going to get annihilated. The more you can cast the Chain Lightning, the faster they're going to die. So extra mana is okay, but what we're really looking for is mana cost reduction. That is key. Then you want the perk for the 2 Hydras, you want the perk for the Chain Lightning, the perk for the freeze isn't bad. Extra intelligence, probably get in there like 2 decent life on kills in the build. I would probably get like 2 life on kills. All stats obviously isn't bad. You don't really need the extra lightning or extra fire damage. I'd go with just intelligence or all stats. 2 evades. I love the second evade just in case, because we're not going to be taking the teleport. or any fast way to evade. The attack one that lowers it isn't terrible, but we're not really spamming our core attack at all. So the 2 evade is really nice as well. Maybe a little bit of movement speed, but top priority 100% like intelligence, all stats, and those are actually secondary to the top one, mana cost reduction. So we can really spam the ground lightning. The Hydra costs nothing to throw out and it lasts 12 seconds. So you just throw them out, and then it's all about how many chain lightnings can you cast fast. And that will determine how fast you wipe the board. And that is how you build the DPS Sorcerer. Sorry about the updated video, but on reconsideration, I really did have to go back and note that there is absolutely zero chance that you should give up the Hydra. Compared to the Ball Lightning is just crap. And for a skill that you can just set and forget and then deal massive damage with electric, like, you gotta have the best of 2 worlds on this one. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, share. It helps others find the video. I hope this helped.